Good morning, Art Talk listeners, the Money Man. Good morning to Danielle and Alicia Frischberg. Thank you so much. We are on with Art Talk, and we have a very special guest this morning. Like I say, it's sunny outside, but it's sunnier in the studio with our fabulous guest, the CEO and the creative founder of Miami Club Rum, Matt Malone. Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you. It's good to be here.
It's great to have you. It's certainly a long-awaited interview. I've been dying to have all my fans, along with the Money Man's fans, to listen and hear about this fabulous, I think it's like our jewel treasure of Miami. And many people don't know about it because I see their reactions when I speak to some people because since I've met you, I've been one of your biggest fans.
Thank you. Thank you.
Miami Club Rum is an amazing rum, the very first rum ever made in Miami and the very first distillery in Miami. So tell us about Miami Club Rum.
Well, thank you first for having me. Miami Club Rum, as you said, is the first distilled spirit here in the city of Miami. Well, the first legal distilled spirit in the city of Miami. And we make it from South Florida sugarcane juice and molasses, and we blend, bottle, we distill. We do everything in our little distillery. We call them a nano distillery in Wynwood, and we're just having a good time doing it. It's something of a family project that I started about 10 years ago.
Yes, that was my next question. What made you, because it's, rum is mostly associated with Puerto Rico or Cuba, and you're not Hispanic.
I'm not?
No, I think you're definitely adopted, but the name Malone kind of gives it away,
Yes, exactly.
But I have to tell you, there's an interesting story that I love you to tell my audience and the Money Man's audience about how you got into a good old Irish boy goes into rum.
Well, I went to a funeral in Puerto Rico 10 years ago for my wife's grandfather. And I learned at the funeral that they had a 100-year tradition of making rum in Mayahuez, Puerto Rico. But they had just stopped recently because no one in her family had the wherewithal or interest to continue making the rum. Her uncle, Tio Miki, is a minister in Puerto Rico, a great guy. And her mother is, I don't know if she's self-proclaimed, but she's a hippie. And she moved to the Dominican Republic in the 70s and started a Montessori school with one of her friends. And so no one in her family really could take on this tradition. But I learned that my kids are sixth-generation rum makers if I stepped in and kept this tradition alive. So that's what I did.
That's amazing. I mean, the story of saying that, of actually, saying, okay, I'm looking at my children. I'm looking at, 5 generations of making rum, and at such a pivotal point of a funeral to really say, look, I'm going to bring this legacy forward and leave this, if anything, in the family and in the children, which is an amazing undertaking.
Right.
And it's not an easy one.
Pardon the pun.
Yeah, pardon the pun is right. But with that said, people will listen and say, okay, well, great. Well, it's the first distillery. It's the first Miami rum. But it's not easy getting into the liquor business. To do what you've done takes years and years and licenses, I think over 11 licenses. So
Correct.
Tell us, what is the protocol? How does one say, okay, I want to do a new liquor? What do you have to do to get to the point where you open the doors?
Well, I think the first and most important thing is to be ignorant completely of the process, because if you knew what it took to get into it, you probably would never go in. But really, the first thing to do is to learn the industry. And so I went to different distilleries. I've been traveling for years, so I've been to restaurants and bars and hotels and things, and I am Irish, so I've been to a few liquor stores also. But you need to learn the industry first. I chose to start my process by actually planting sugarcane in Puerto Rico, so I'd learn the industry from the ground up. So we planted organic sugarcane in Puerto Rico 9 years ago, with a couple hundred acres down in a place south of Mayahuez, Puerto Rico, that's really beautiful, called Cabo Rojo. And so I learned there, and then I started doing trials in another distillery in Puerto Rico to learn the business. And then I started the process here in Miami. I first looked for properties that would be reasonably priced. I went to Wynwood. Fortunately, I love the energy of Wynwood, by the way. It's a beautiful place, a lot of stuff going on. 5 years ago was a little early in the process, but even then, you could tell that Wynwood was going to be something special. So we decided to go in there, and I worked with the city of Miami, with the county, with the state, and of course the federal government to do all the licensing and proper setup. So between the time we started this project and the time we released rum was almost 8 years.
8 years. Oh, my
Yes.
Lord. Does getting the proper licensing, each one requires different stages. And so that's why the 8 years comes along? Or was it to grow the sugar canes or combination of everything?
A combination. The first 4 years was getting an education, learning about the sugar cane, going to distillation schools, learning the industry, and then the second half is actually doing trials, making rum, and it takes 2 years to make good rum.
Well, we're going to come right back. So hold that thought, Matt. We're going to take a commercial break, and we'll be right back with Susana Baker and
Matt Malone.
you got it, and Danielle Frischberg and Alicia Frischberg also. So we're so happy to be back, Art Talk on the Money Man, with our guest, Matt Malone. So if you're tuning in, Matt Malone is the creative founder and CEO of Miami Club Rum, with a fabulous story of the undertaking of this project that he decided to do 9 years ago by going to the funeral of his wife's grandfather, right? Or
Correct,
uncle.
yes.
Right, grandfather.
Miguel Grau.
Yes, and so with the Grau family, 100-year tradition of roncanecas.
Correct.
You see?
Yeah.
And so with that, you looked at your children, and right there and then you had this calling of, continue the legacy on. And instead of roncaneca, you wanted to switch it up a bit, make it your own. And so Miami Club Rum came to be born.
That is correct. My children were born here in Miami. We live in Miami. And after I started the project in Puerto Rico, it became clear that it was going to be difficult to travel back and forth and rebuild this tradition in Puerto Rico. So I put that kind of in mothballs, and we created Miami Club Rum. Miami is one of the great rum markets of the world, and people from all over the world come here by the millions, but Miami's never had her own rum. And when I did my market evaluations, it seemed to me that it's about time Miami had her own rum company and her own brand. So we trademarked Miami Club Rum in the great tradition of clubs. There's Havana Club, there's Panama Club, Club Caribe, Canadian Club. So we thought Miami Club was a great name for her first rum. We designed the bottle after the Art Deco tradition of South Beach and the city here.
And if you haven't seen that bottle, I mean, for all our listeners, you definitely want to check out the website, which is
MiamiClubRum.com.
Yeah, MiamiClubRum.com, and see how gorgeous that bottle is. I also wanted to tell and interject, you also do, besides that gorgeous bottle, you have a beautiful collection of photographs of which you're very well known, because once you get to taste Miami Club Rum, and some people say, God, I would just buy it because the bottle's so gorgeous, but the rum is also so damn good.
Thank you.
Yeah, and it's true. And I've been able, like I said, I became a fan. I've seen you in many events. That's how I got to know of the rum and know of you. And I've tasted the rum. Now, you were saying Miami needed its own rum. You decided to patent the name, trademark the name Miami Club Rum. And I also overheard you say it's not a white rum, it's a platinum rum. What did you mean by that?
Well, a platinum rum, by my definition, I think by most of the industry definition, is a rum that's aged in barrels. Our rum is 2 years old, and it's a dark rum. And we use a special process. It's a secret process that we developed here in Miami, that takes the color, most of the color, back out of the rum, but leaves the best flavor parts from the aged wood, the aging in the wood. So what we're doing with our filtration process is we're taking out any smokiness and we're taking out any acidity that's going to be too much, and it leaves a really smooth, ultimately mixable platinum rum. So the difference between a platinum and a white is a white rum just comes off the still, is not aged, and a platinum rum is aged dark rum that's filtered back to nearly clear.
So it's a very high quality rum.
Well, we think so. Yeah,
Yeah.
we
I
put a lot of
definitely
love and a lot of energy and a lot of investment into it.
Well, you're not the only one that thinks that, because you just won after opening your doors for 1 year, you took away one of the hardest blind jury tests, and you won Spirit of the Year with the San Francisco Spirit.
That's correct.
Fair, right?
We won the best white rum in the world from the San Francisco World Spirits Competition. Gold medal and the designation of best rum, which is a separate acknowledgement. So we were really happy about that. That was our
That's
first
incredible.
competition.
Congratulations.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
1 year in the market and you win that. But I also heard that you won something in New York.
Yeah, we won best white rum in New York at the 50 best competition in New York. And so you'll see those 2 medals on our website now. And we're going into more competitions. We'll go to Paris and we'll go to London next. Between San Francisco, London, and Paris, those are the 3 biggest, most important shows in the world. So we're hoping to do well at the next 2.
I'm sure you will. And I have to tell you something, Matt. You are an amazing humanitarian as well. A lot of the events that I've seen you at is where you actually support the event by giving them products. You did that for Girl Power for one of their biggest gala. So I know Thema Campbell thanks you. And you help a lot of nonprofits, in the awareness of not just letting them know about your rum, but also helping these other organizations. Not that that's what you're all about, because obviously you're here to make profits. But now, after a year open and a little bit more, you are now going out and searching markets. How can someone find your rum? What liquor stores can I go in Miami to buy your rum?
Well, we have liquor stores all over the Metro Miami area and Broward County. We're in Big Daddy's, we're in Crown, we're in I Love Liquor on the Beach, great guys. Jensen's has done a great job with us. They support us. Big Game Liquor in Coral Gables, Sunset
Vintage.
Corners. Yeah, Sunset Corners, all the way down to Checkers in the Keys.
Nice.
So we're on Gulf. We're in many, many liquor stores across Miami.
That's great. And in restaurants, if I was like in some of the nice restaurants that are through Miami, if I wanted to order, I think you're doing something called Winwood Balls. Is that true?
Well, I didn't make that up. Yes. We're and I hesitate to say because I know I'm going to leave people out, but we're in restaurants all over Miami, from Zuma to Abraci to Il Gabbiano to Juvia does a great job with us. The people at Sugarcane, Sushi Samba have been wonderful to us. And of course, all the people in Wynwood, Wynwood Walls and the Wynwood Kitchen and et cetera.
I don't want to put anyone in a spot because I know that you are the person that likes to give credit where credit is due. And the support that you're getting and how Miami's embracing you is phenomenal. I've seen it as first eye testimonials here. I see people come up to you all the time thanking you on behalf of the city of Miami because you are doing a great product. You didn't just think aesthetically, let me just do a great bottle and the heck whatever goes in, I trademark the name. You really take everything serious because you really want to leave the legacy to your children and you want to leave them the best.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's what it's all about. That's what this project has been.
If I wanted to take a tour of your distillery, I hear you're open for tours in Wynwood.
Yes, we are open for tours.
How would I find out about that?
Well, you can go. You can call Susana Baker. That'd be a great way to find out about it because of your great tour programs.
Yes, thank you.
But also, you can go to our website or give us a call.
What's the number to call you?
305-438-9994, or you can go to MiamiClubRum.com.
MiamiClubRum.com, Matt Malone. You started this 9 years ago. A lot of sweat, tears, I'm sure.
Yes.
A lot of education, frustrations, a lot of licensing, a lot of red tape. I could only imagine to finally, after 9 years, open your door about a little bit more than 12 months ago.
Yeah.
Win 2 top competitions, the world is at your feet and the sky is the limit. And we're back. Art Talk on the Money Man, and here with my guest, my very special guest, Matt Malone from Miami Club Rum, the creative founder. So Matt, tell me, where do you see yourself in 2 years with this product?
Well, we're doing a really good job of getting into the market here in Miami. Our goal was to be the hometown rum of Miami. So first, we priced our product to be accessible at around $28 retail. So our goal in a couple of years is to be in all of the restaurants and bars that are locally owned, all the locally owned retailers. And we do support local very much. We are not currently involved in large national chains for the retail business. We want to support our local guys. So you'll see us in a lot of local places.
And you've also not only stopped at that, and one of the things I really, truly enjoy about your entrepreneur vision is that you're very creative and think out of the box. So you also went ahead and did your own cocktails. And one of them that I had the opportunity to taste and always want to have more is mijita, which means daughter, my daughter, right?
Yes, it's an affectionate term for my daughter, right?
Right. And your mijita is, and I just, I saw it because as you were doing it, I heard this large slap, and I was like, what's going on over there? And so it's one of your secrets. So can you tell us what the mijita is?
Well, the mijita is one of our signature drinks. We have a group of about 12 signature drinks that we created. Mijita is the what I would call like the feminine visual to the mojito. It's a Miami Club rum with cranberry juice and a squeeze of lime, and then just a leaf of mint that we spank. We call it spanking the mint.
Oh, sorry.
You slap the mint, it opens up the oils, and that just the oils rest on top of the drink and give you kind of a nose of the mint.
Wonderful,
and it's very
refreshing.
soft. Yeah. And we make our rum specifically to be ultimately mixable so that it blends really well with like cranberry and even things like Red Bull and orange juice. It's really a very mixable rum.
I had something very different the other day, too, at the Best of Miami, which I hear that New Times chose you as the Best of Miami rum.
We're thrilled with that.
Yeah,
yes.
That's awesome. And so I was at that event where I was able to taste a cocoa mojito.
Yes.
And it was very different. It was so refreshing. And I loved that. And that's something very different for me because you ended with a splash of soda. And that was really like just so refreshing and light and just wonderful. Very different. I love it.
we like to mix it up a little bit. The traditional mojito is wonderful and it's a hugely popular drink, but we like to play on themes. So with instead of using sugar in a mojito, we use sweet coconut milk, and it makes a fantastic coconut flavored mojito, really nicely balanced.
I know. I could tell you that. Now, I understand that there might be other liquors coming into play for the holidays and things like that, which is very special. And I have to tell you, your gallery, you have an art gallery too. So you kind of done like what the bank does in Wynwood. We have a bank in Wynwood, which is a gallery and bank. You're a distillery, but also a gallery.
That's correct.
And right now you have a nice collection of art on, and everything goes to Save the Apes, I believe.
Well, it's the Center for Great Apes up in Central Florida. It's a fantastic cause. And so all of the art that's on the walls now is under the theme Endangered, and all of the proceeds from that go to the Center for Great Apes. A wonderful cause.
So I definitely tell my audience, Money Man Art Talk, please go to either the artexperiences.com for now. We're going to be putting a whole information, this tape, and anything you've missed. There'll be a special coupon on our site as well that you could print down and take it to one of the stores, of the liquor stores, or come and visit us and see this fabulous 30-minute tour of the distillery. Come and taste some of the samplings of some of the drinks we just spoke about. Come and meet Matt Malone. He's a very hands-on type of person. And I have to tell you, I love Miami Club Rum. I know Miami loves Miami Club Rum.
Thank you.
And so thank you, Matt Malone. How can we find you again?
MiamiClubRum.com. You can find all of our contact information there and set up a tour or to your website.
Okay, theartexperiences.com. Have a fabulous day. Art Talk listeners and Money Man listeners, thank you, Matt Malone, Miami Club Rum.
Thank you, Susana.